Last
Good.
freaking go.
Let's freaking GM. Ready up, gamers. It is Monday, April 15th. We are speed running through this week in Web3 gaming. We're also speed running Twitter jail. Keeping you updated on everything that you need to know. Of course, I am Icy Gaming, but if you're looking for me on Twitter, it is at Web3 Gamer because
It's at Peyton today, baby.
Exactly.
At Peyton today, dude. Freaking Icy's taking over my profile. That's how much he matters, dude.
Crazy. You already know running duos alongside Peyton Kalevahea, Web3 marketing lead for Shrapnel, K9 of the K9s. That is Wolves DAO, the best alpha pack in all of Web3 gaming. Peyton, good morning. You are in rare form today.
Bro,
how are you? Get that
good,
Celsius.
Dude. Yeah, I got to get that Celsius, boy. Just merch check a little bit. Got that honey black and white on. Yeah, there we go. We go. Got to do the. You gotta do the ass catch 'em, dude. I'm up here, dude. No, man, I'm doing great, dude. Just a great weekend with the family. Great weekend with you, pre-show and everything like that. Things cooking with Wolves. But you know, the major thing is like we're actually just doing this live stream until IC is free. So it's a 24/7 live stream until you're free, buddy. Free IC.
I appreciate.
I will say too, I love the support that you're getting. Like you're getting all the love that like you deserve because like everyone literally loves you, dude. Like literally, I say that for everybody.
I'm like at a loss for words, to be honest, man. I don't take compliments well. I'd rather like shine light, just like you and Wolves DAO. I'd rather shine light on others. But real quick, yeah, thank you to everybody that has reached out or has posted or is concerned. It really, really means a lot. I've seen some comments that said like, you know, this made me realize what a tight knit community or what a family vibe that we have here, and I couldn't agree more. I'm sorry that I have to be the one that like, you know, caused all this. I'm very concerned about the Twitter account, but really, really appreciate everybody that has tweeted. Genuinely, like, guys, don't worry about me. It'll be okay. It is just a Twitter account. There are far more important things happening in the world right now. I want you guys to focus on yourselves, your loved ones, improving, you know, whatever it is that you're working on. But genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. It means
right off the bat though, right off the rip, I'm gonna give 50 Matic to people saying free IC. So
yeah,
the good thing is, guys, we're like upping our production and everything like here and everything, and so we're gonna do it. We're gonna draw. So this is 50 Matic. This is coming from my account. Free IC, bro. Free
amazing.
IC.
Look at this
for people out there.
Comments already.
Lau. Okay, Lau. I know that you're gonna say don't to like maybe he won't. If I get something from Lau and saying like, hey, give me the 50 Matic, or he said like redo it, we'll run it again. But,
listen, man, the market tanked. I would take that
yeah.
Well,
dude, yeah, last week it was like $50. This week is like 30 cents, bro.
Yeah.
So good to go. Yeah, Lau's saying redo. Okay, sounds good, Lau. We're gonna redo. But Icy, what are we doing today as I get that set up and everything like, man? How's the show looking? How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great, man, even though I'm, you know, locked up in Twitter jail. We got a lot to talk about, Peyton. There's a $30 million airdrop from Stepn for the blast from the past from last cycle. Gala Games is having some issues. It might be, you know, it's so over narrative. We're so back. But there's some issues with Mirandus and The Walking Dead having layoffs and shakeups. We got MetalCore. Their token is coming. Super excited about that. And then we're going to talk about some Web3 gaming handhelds. We got a Bitcoin Game Boy. ICEYYY is launching their PlayStation Portable version of their Web3 PSP. And then we're going to talk about social farming. The good, the bad, the ugly. We had Block launch last week to not such great reception. They changed some things. We've got some tweets from Lambo analyzing PackMoon and how they've done it. So,
dude, so good.
There's a lot to get into. So guys, if you are here, you already see Peyton doing giveaways. You love to see it. But go ahead and retweet the space if you're tuning in on X. It does help us grow the show over on Twitter's platform, just so that we can get banned in the future. Yeah. We are going to be giving away some money in IMX tokens to listeners who do that, because we appreciate you.
Also, can I give a little sample what's happening after this episode? So we got the show, guys, but something that we're doing is coming on with an exclusive. So at the end of the show, thank you guys for showing up, because you guys are the best. I hear everybody in the comment. I already see Jaxie in there. Man, we need GIFs on YouTube. Absolutely. But we have something at the end of this, having an exclusive for AI Arena. So AI Arena coming out. They just had an exclusive. If you guys want to kind of do the pre-show and look it up, it's coming out in like around 30 minutes. But he's going to be coming live on this show, and he wants to be. He's always been a friend of mine, so he wants to be the ones that is delivering that information. So we have slide decks. We literally have videos that like have never been seen before. That Way is going to be coming on this show and delivering to us. And so, Way, I know you're probably watching this. Thank you, buddy. We'll see you here in an hour. So yeah, the show is going to look a little bit different because of that. So I'm super excited about it for that. So yeah, man, excited.
Ready up exclusives. You love to see it, man. That's what we're all about here. Bringing you the alpha, bringing you what you need to know, covering everything in Web3 gaming. All of this is made possible by our incredible sponsors. Let's talk about them. Immutable, the preferred blockchain of Ready Up. Big news from Immutable. We're gonna actually talk about it later, but we'll tease it right now. But they announced Immutable Nexus, which is the ecosystem of gaming chains. Many AAA game studios require their own chain due to their size and need for complex capability. And as always, Immutable is here to deliver. So if you're familiar, this is kind of a little similar to AVAX subnets. So really, really incredible to see Immutable kind of get into that game and offer that as a solution. Really excited to dive into that a little bit later in the show. We're also brought to you by Honeyland. Talking about exclusives. We did an exclusive with Corey, the co-founder of Honeyland, last week. That was really awesome. Peyton, they announced like an entire year's worth of roadmap last week in and of itself. So centralized exchanges, an overhaul on their game Word Puzzle, vanity domains, .hxd. You can like show off your own URL in Honeyland. They've got a on-ramping with Stripe, which is a massive integration. Like shout out to them and what they had to do to get that going. You can stake your HXD. I actually think that's going live this week. They announced a new mint and of course a huge HXD airdrop. We covered all of that. This is a great thread. If you guys are not paying attention, if you have not downloaded Honeyland, what are you doing? Go support them. Love that. And then of course, not to be forgotten, we got OpenSea. OpenSea has been, I feel like OpenSea has been
they've been cooking, right?
All gas, like, no brakes, Peyton.
Dude, we've been cooking. Like I will say, like for me, OpenSea kind of came out and like no one's kind of giving them credit because it's OpenSea. Like no one ever gives credit to OpenSea, but they're our sponsors, so like we get paid to give them credit. Literally, like OpenSea, that you talk about the ERC 721C integration. You talk about the wallet integration and making it easier for onboarding. You talk about like the support for like off the grid, and like there's more down the pipeline. Oliver is talking to us down the road. It's like they're looking to do this for like long-term partners and everything like that. And they just have so much cooking up, and they're not done. I think they understand the market more than people think. And so I'm excited for it, man.
We always talk about builders, man, and they're out here front facing, continuing to ship, continuing to build, taking all of the arrows, taking all the heat. They were just at Coachella over the weekend with their VIP pass. Shout out to Ashley Decan. I think she was out there doing some content for them. Of course, we saw them at NFT NYC with a great arcade event and dinner. They did a bunch, made Wolves Den possible, of course. But yeah, this news right here was adding support for off-the-grid guns blockchain on Avalanche. So let me see real quick. We're going to dive into this a little bit later, but they're integrating the guns blockchain platform with the prominent NFT marketplace. This move will allow traders to trade in-game items from any game created on the guns blockchain, which is, of course, on an AVAX subnet. So you love to see it. But with that said, Peyton, man, let's talk about these markets. There was quite a bit of a shakeup over the weekend. Unfortunately, in the world, there is, you know, war times.
Israel, Iran, like there's just a lot of stuff politically, geopolitical. Like there is like always in the macro environment. I think that's something that we haven't talked much about, but like we've talked about, like, you know, looking at like the broader scale of like gaming and stuff like that. But like even larger than that, you cannot like really plan for these, right? These type of things. And so it is just a sad, you know, weekend for the world and everything. But again, we're here to talk about games and ready up, and so
that's
we love
why
to see it.
I tweeted out, I'm like, dude, everything that's happening, like my Twitter account is like the least important thing going on in the world. But of course, crypto markets were impacted by that. We saw a pretty massive dump, Peyton. I think Bitcoin got as low as like 62K. We're recovering quite a bit right now. We're back up to 66. Ethereum at 3,200. Let's see. Solana jumped down. I think what did I see it? Maybe 125. Was the low point, so it's back up to 150 now. So congrats, you know, you love to see that. You know, I've been impressed by the resilience of the crypto markets.
Seriously, I have been too.
For me, people were talking about even last week the flash crash or whatever, and I'm like, Bitcoin's over 60K. Like, what are we talking about? I feel like Bitcoin could go down to 50K and we would still be in like bullish, you know, super cycle, we're so back territory. So that, you know, when in doubt, guys, zoom out, keep things in perspective. You know, the bull run will continue. But let's take a look at the fear and greed index as well. We've been talking about this, Peyton, so much. You know, we've been in extreme greed. We're still in greed, which surprising with that big dump. I'm surprised we didn't see this dump a little bit more. You know, a lot of people were calling for that pullback, 20 to 30%. So not surprised to see that kind of happen, and I still think it could happen. But also with, you know, how quickly we've bounced back, you know, could be going higher.
Yeah, and the one thing I wanted to also share here is like this GCR post. A lot of people like
I love that
attributed like a lot of people, you know, in terms of sideline and stuff like that. Like I agree with IC too, because like if you zoom out, like just not even a few months ago, our mindset on things were so different. It's like, guys, man, this is like a deep bear. Like, you know, I've had like conversations with IC's like, man, should we just like jump over to Fortnite? You know, like these conversations happen a lot. Like, you know, just being transparent. GCR is like, hey, like I came back just to tell you guys, like, just, hey, we're going to make it and everything like that. Just make sure that you're not getting shaken out to the point where like you have no exposure on this wonderful industry that we're in. So no, completely agree with IC. He knows what he's talking about, even though he can't tweet about it.
Let's take a look at some gaming coins. Listen, we're at a $22 billion market cap. When we first started the show, Peyton, we're at like 12 billion. I think we've gotten as high as 30 billion in this recent run. But yeah, that is that 20 to 30% pullback. So you're seeing a lot of coins in the red on the weekly. Immutable down to $2.25. Gala 4.5 cents. Beam down 12%. Ronin down 12%. Actually, I think that Ronin, I saw a tweet from Jiho. They got as high as 90 on the top 100.
Yeah,
I think
they're resilient, man.
They're super resilient because more coins dumped more. So I think they were at like 96, 98 before the dump. So they're holding up really well. Prime still over $22. You love to see that. Illuvium still over $100. Pixels 45 cents. So yeah, we saw a lot of Pixels could be a grab right there. I think they got as high as like $1. So 50% discount. A lot of discounts going on if you guys are trying to trade these markets.
For sure.
Not financial advice, of course.
Yeah, not financial advice, of course. One thing I want to do is that Lau graciously said, like, give up the 50 Matic. So I want to do that before like we get more people coming in, because we want to reward the people that are coming for the first like 15 minutes. So I don't want to do it. We have 15 people for the first 15 minutes. We appreciate you guys commenting. We really do like love you guys and being active in chat. Come out every single week, man. Like we really do love you guys. This is for the free ICEYY campaign. And so 50 Matic is going to Jaxie. Oh man, Jaxie. All righty. So Jaxie, you got 50 Matic, buddy. Connect me with me. We've talked via DM, so just talk to me on that side of things. So no, man, love you to death, IC, and 50 Matic goes to you, Jaxie.
Thank you, Peyton. I love you as well, man. Guys, a lot of people on the YouTube really appreciate that. The next giveaway will be for retweeting the space on Twitter. You know, I still love Twitter, no matter even if they don't love me, man, I love them.
We
So
should have
go ahead.
actually talked about this before. We should have boycotted this specific Twitter picker, but no, we appreciate it. We already got 11 retweets though. Like, really do appreciate y'all.
Yeah. So go ahead and give some love over there while we jump into the first. Guys, we're also going to switch up the order a little bit. We're going to start off with some game updates. And we're going to move the game teasers to the end of the show. So we're going to get right into the updates, talking about the alpha and what's going on, and then we'll close out with a little bit of fun. And that'll also give us a little bit of buffer if we go a little long, so we don't have to we can get ready for way. But the first one that we got, Peyton, is MetalCore $MCG. I wonder if that's MetalCore game. MCG.
No clue.
Yeah, I'm always curious.
Getting a little too crazy with the acronym there, MetalCore, but I'm gonna go.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. They core metal. I don't know. Anyways, they announced MCG is coming. So MetalCore has been one of my favorite games ever since I first got into the space. It's beautiful. Met a lot of the team, of course. Jerry worked for them when I first met him. You know, shout out to them. So cool to see everyone's kind of launching their token right now. MetalCore is throwing their hat into the ring. Also tying that with their closed beta 2. So of course, they've got some quests. You know, you can farm their social farming. They're going to be doing quests on DQuest as well. And open beta is going to be from April 9th to May 14th. So you've got some time to get in there and farm that. Peyton, what do you think about this? What's your reaction here?
I'm very excited because this is like the first like kind of like AAA quality game. And I use AAA very like loosely in that sense, like high-end graphics, high fidelity, what are people kind of used to on a lot of aspects of things. And so I'm very curious to see, like, does that play a factor into people wanting to play? And then I'm also curious to see, I wrote a tweet about this like a couple of days ago or a few days ago, whenever we were talking about, like, I think like AAA games or of that caliber that have like large studios also tend to not reward as much. So I'm very curious to see what they do on that aspect of things, because they are primarily a Web 2 driven business. And so they're coming into Web 3 thinking that probably, oh, they're going to play our game because they like our game and like they're going to earn like just like a couple dollars. It's like, no, people are going in there with the anticipation to actually get outsized rewards. And so very curious to see. Very curious to see.
Yeah, same here. Full disclosure, I am doing a video for them. Hopefully I'll be releasing that later on today. But we talk a little bit about the token and how it's going to be used. So essentially they've got their in-game premium currency called shards. And you're going to be able to convert MCG into shards and use that to power up. Of course, there's going to be like in-game purchases through their weapons. I think they've got vehicle decals.
Right.
You can also use it to speed up traveling across the map, which is going to be a big thing, getting into battle quicker and all that stuff. So yeah, integrating the token, trying to drive utility for it. Of course, I think the docs said over 53% of it, the supply is going to the community. Which, yeah, you absolutely love that. I think 40% was like directly to the community over the next few years. I think it is like a 1 to 3 year kind of unlock schedule. So all those docs are are public actually on their website if you guys want to go check that stuff out. If you're a big MetalCore fan like I am, this should be really exciting because you know, they're here and they're playing the Web3 game. So we wish them the best, really.
Sir, yes, sir.
Let's talk about this next one, man. Let me see, share this tab and then add this back. Solana moved to earn game Stepn from last section. Dude, the two play to earn games that really brought me into the space, or that like I participated in last cycle, was Ice Poker and Stepn, man.
Dude, there's a lot of wolves that actually had like Stepn shoes. Like they were one of the first ones on the ground level. And like I guess like a lot of like wolves are like runners and stuff like that. And they actually like made like really good money just like running and like working out. Like I was like really surprised.
Yeah, man. Those shoes did really well for a point in time. People were earning, you know, hundreds of dollars per day. The narrative was just so great, right?
Yeah.
For anyone who's not familiar, this was a move to earn game, which was a spin on the play to earn. So you could buy these shoes, these NFTs, you could equip them on your phone, and then basically every day you had to go get your steps in. And you know, you had a certain amount of energy that you could use each day. And then, you know, you basically farm the Stepn token GMT, which you could then use to like upgrade your shoes to earn more rewards. And it's a whole kind of play to earn flywheel that ultimately, you know, was not really sustainable. Obviously, Stepn, you know, had a huge crash and the value of the NFTs kind of came down, but they've not gone anywhere throughout the cycle. They still have a really passionate community. And people that are believe in this move to earn movement. But
yeah, nice. I'll get the sound effect next time.
Yeah.
And something that Matt said too is that I didn't know this. Maybe you did, IC, because you're a lot more sharper than I am. But they just did an Adidas partnership announcement, and I did not know that. So congrats on Stepn and the team, like trying to break into mainstream. Like, don't sleep on the power of brand and the user base that is financially incentivized.
Yeah.
You know, some of those people are like, oh, if you have like a OG NFT, like there's one I can't talk about it yet, but there's one specific NFT that I currently have, and I heard that they're doing something, and I'm like, oh shoot, like it kind of like you have like this kind of like connection to them. If you own an NFT or a token, like you at least want to go and see what's going on, right? And I think like if you're a Stepn or you heard it, like we've heard it, it's like, oh shoot, let's check what they're doing, and like, oh, Adidas, like I was like, oh shoot, I might have to pay attention, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, 100%. How do I bring this back up?
I got you.
There you go. Thank you. So, yeah, they basically announced a $30 million airdrop campaign with their developer FSL, distributing 100 million airdrop points to players over a week-long event that actually started last week and ends this Wednesday. So, if you are in the Stepn community, definitely jump in to check that out. Essentially, the points are redeemable 1-for-1 for Stepn's native GMT token, minted on Solana, of course. The airdrop is being conducted in 2 phases. The first targeting Stepn achievement badge holders who can earn FSL points through in-app achievements. And the second phase, which will be going live, will focus on rewarding holders of the Genesis sneaker NFTs. And you're going to have to claim those points by the end of April. I've got the tweet here if that'll load. So you can check that out. Pretty interesting. I didn't see more noise about this other than the Decrypt article. And I tried to do a little bit more research because I'm like, dude, $30 million airdrop, that's insane. In the comments, there was a lot of people saying like, hey, like I didn't get the airdrop, or like, why wasn't I time for this? You never know, right? Some people might just be farming.
It's an airdrop into their treasury. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe the confusion for a lot of people was the first one being the badge airdrop, and then the second one being the Genesis NFT airdrop. So hopefully when that one goes live, people will be able to cook and
absolutely,
and do well on that.
And Matt DeFi's specific quote about Adidas, here's just the reference, guys. It's pinned up to their top of their stuff. So doing big things. Proud to announce they're teaming up with Adidas for long-term collaboration. So, hey, good on them. You know, they're getting some mainstream adoption, everything like that. But back to you, IC. Just wanted to confirm that with Matt DeFi over there.
Yeah, appreciate that. Shout out to Jackson in the chat. Are we going to talk about Block at all? We are going to talk about Block. We've got the good, the bad, the ugly of social farming that we're going to get into a little bit later in the industry news. But let's move on to our next big game update. Trouble in Paradise for Gala Games, or maybe the saga continues for Gala Games. We got some, we're going to check in with our Gala correspondent here, Jesus Martinez. Breaking, Gala replaces the lead team with Mirandus, their flagship MMORPG, saying McCarthy's vision is dead. So McCarthy kind of was driving the ship for Mirandus, and a lot of people who were excited about Mirandus were excited because of McCarthy and you know what he's done in the past and his vision for Mirandus. So really disheartening for a lot of the Mirandus community to see this. Really kind of a shame. I don't really know what else to say about that. I was
Yeah.
never the biggest you know, Mirandus wasn't like the game that I was most excited for, to be
Right.
honest. I didn't follow along too much with it. I think I kind of missed it from last cycle. But I know a lot of people, like even On-Chain Gaming, shout out to Jake, kind of came back and was like tweeting about this because he's, you know, one of their biggest supporters. So
Well,
really
it's just
kind of,
not just that, like, it's Miranda's the person that was in charge of that, like, was always on, like, you know, Jake's, and, Jesus's, like, shows, and so, like, a lot of people have connections to these teams, right? So, like,
yeah,
they also bet on them. I think in a lot of ways, like, a lot of these, crypto people, and myself included, bet on the teams.
yeah,
And that aspect of things, like, people bought huge amounts of items in Miranda's. I think Jake still holds like millions of dollars like worth of assets, or
yeah.
at least it was equivalent to that. Like, you know, there was castles, there was lands, there was like horses, there were like production, like, and with a team being swapped out, you don't know what's going to carry over, you know, all the promises, like they kind of have like, they don't have a clean slate because it's Gala and like we're going to keep the press on them, but it is sad.
There's been a lot of issues with Gala, right? Drifter, the
Yeah.
studio behind Superior, there's a lawsuit going on there.
Yeah.
Spider
Or even between the
Tanks,
teams,
yeah.
right? Like, in terms of that aspect of things too, like, that was in the bear. Like, a lot of this stuff is coming to the surface now, probably because it's bull and it has a huge market cap.
Mhm.
But, like, this has been happening, at least we know, been happening now for, like, longer than a year. The whole Jake debacle happened,
Yep.
the whole, suing each other for the private plane,
Yeah.
and then now, like, you know,
The
with
tokens,
Jesus being
yeah.
dropped, and I already been very big advocate for Jesus, like, you knew who you were signing up with,
Yeah.
and, like, you just use them, and then now, like, letting go of teams, right? And so it's a sad thing, brother.
It is a sad thing. I don't really know what's going on over in that ecosystem. I do follow Jesus, and I get updates from him, which is really nice. Shout out to him for that. I know it seems like they're going a little bit harder on the Gala music side of things, which is really, really a shame. Obviously, they've got their Gala blockchain or Gala chain, which they're leaning into. But when you see so much shakeup in their gaming side of all these studios and teams that they were working with, it's really disheartening to see. It
Yeah.
doesn't instill a lot of faith and confidence, personally. Yeah, so I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. Same vein, the other update, man, it was a poor week. The Walking
Yep.
Dead Empires team on Gala has been laid off. So Jesus also shared this screenshot from Paul Sullivan, who was working on the Walking Dead Empires, which was another game. I actually really liked Walking Dead Empires. I play
I did too.
tested both
I did.
Mirandus and Walking Dead Empires.
Yeah.
Mirandus, not so much for me. I don't want to spend $8,000 on a lamp, but Walking Dead Empires was
Agreed.
cool. Really enjoyed it. And you know, and obviously that's a huge IP. So this is going to be kind of one of their shining stars on Gala, but no longer. No
Yeah, I
longer.
think, man, Walking Dead was such a good IP. The game was fun. It's just, I think when it comes down to it, Gala has just not been managing very well.
Yeah.
I think they're just like so busy. They try to do this. And that was something that whenever I talked about going into the music, like they were just like trying to go wide so much. It's like you have such a huge niche in gaming.
Yeah.
I feel like they lost their opportunity there, and there's a lot of people coming up and just shaking things up. Like I think the other than IMX, shout out, like there's gonna be a whole like different like number 10 lineup coming out of this cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let's keep it going, man. You know, one of the things with this, guys, is that we care about covering the space, the good, the bad, the ugly. And we talk about this, right? Gaming is a hit-driven business. It's not easy. It takes a lot of
Right.
funding, a lot of time, a lot of development. These things are really expensive. So it's normal and natural, even in just like, you know, the business cycle, to see these kind of situations occur. It's always sad when it does, but it is a part of the industry and the business. And I feel a duty to kind of like share and report on it. So in a similar vein and fashion, we got this tweet from Vader talking about Army of Fortune. Army of Fortune made a lot of noise last year. People were really bullish on the team. There was some Supercell connections. They were able to build a TikTok of like 4 million followers. The content was good. It was this whole mobile kind of thing. Their free mint did really well with their initial NFT. Unfortunately, there was a lot of drama when they announced the tokenomics, and the NFT holders weren't going to get as much of the supply as possible, or as they thought. And yeah, Vader sharing AFG is down 93% since the exchange offering, trading at 600K. Sub 1 million market cap is terrible for any token. I don't know if you can come back. Saying kind of bearish on Web 2 founders who don't get Web 3. There's lessons in here.
Yeah.
I also thought that this tweet was an interesting call out from Rick Moore, saying that they've gone bust, sort of, quote unquote. And this is a rumor, not substantiated.
Right.
I don't know. Just
we don't know Rick Moore at all.
Yeah, right. Not Rick is let's see. He is co-founder of Axel. I don't know how to say that, but Moonfrost.
Never mind then.
Yeah.
Moonfrost. Those two products.
Yeah. So, he's out here.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, saying that he's interviewed 3 coders recently from Army of Fortune. And I think if you go to their Twitter, they haven't tweeted since like mid-March. I think they've been active. They've just been retweeting things. But unfortunate kind of thing, and kind of the other takeaway of like, be careful out there, guys. Do your own research, not financial advice. Like, you really got to do your due diligence on these teams and make sure that what you're getting into, or try and trade the market well, take profits. I free minted my my NFT, and I held it to 0. So
I love ICEYY. Yeah, absolutely. Free ICEYY. Let's just do that. Another one. Lance coming in, free ICEYY. The only thing that I agree with everything that Vader said, but like the most important underlined in bold, italicized, I don't give a crap, bearish on Web 2 founders who don't get Web 3. If you're coming in as a Web 2 founder and you have like the, I guess, understanding of game development, good on you. But just like you go onto like a publishing platform like Steam or Epic or YouTube or like any of these specific ones that like you want to get your name out there, you need Web3 degens to publish for you and sign off on you, right? Because they're also gonna like sign off, like Dingaling freaking just was like ripped into them because they did not do this mint well. They really did a really good job at hyping it, but not on the follow through.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll call out Emperor of Love and everyone that has won IMX, guys. This is on me. I apologize. With NFT NYC, also like Immutable ZK EVM, I'm working on getting the IMX this week, and we'll be sending those out. So I super apologize about that, but bear with us. We will be getting your IMX out there. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Guys, I wouldn't destroy our reputation off of $10.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years. So
100%. That's on me. Let's move on to the next story here to kind of close out this topic. Unfortunately, more bad news about game studios kind of shutting down. Eternal Dragons is also shutting their doors. We've got this tweet here from co-founder Alex Arias, who is a great founder, and this was a really great team. Peyton, I think you know a little bit more about this.
I do. And I just want to kind of just say too, like, this is different from AOFers and Gala, right? This is a team that tried their hardest and have reached out to people, have like done it, and it just like wasn't a market fit for like what they're building. And they literally were from 2021, been building, scaled the team, downscaled the team during the bear, reached out to people that are going to try to make them successful. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. Unfortunately. And I think Eternal Dragons is one of those cases that you definitely have respect from the community for trying and doing your best. But we're hoping that you come back stronger and you're still with us. So
one thing that I really like about this is that they initiated a buyback plan for their NFTs. Of course, using funds from the treasury and whatnot. I respect that a lot. I think that there's a few projects that I got into that I'm like, hey guys, maybe you didn't execute this as well as you could have, and maybe mistakes were made along the way. Maybe we should do a buyback of some of the mints that you guys did. So really big respect to them for trying to do right by the community. They're not just ghosting and dipping out and whatnot. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, to me, like, I would think that it's fine. Like Eternal Dragons, like, I know how much they've worked and stuff like that, and how much people they hired and how much like they tried to make it work, that it's like, hey, like, you deserve what's left in your treasury, because I know it's probably not much. So Yeah, but still, like, good on them. They can probably come back now with this, like, and smarter and better for next time. I'm hoping that they're not done because they're good people.
Yeah. Let's move on to our next topic. We got some handhelds in gaming. Very interesting. So ICEYYY, the blockchain ICEYYY. I'm not sure how do you pronounce
I don't know how to say it either. ICEYYY. I see ICEYYY. But I don't know. ICEYYY. I didn't know like a 3-letter word could be as hard to like pronounce.
They announced that they're getting into the gaming handheld business, getting into hardware. So this is an open Steam Deck like gaming handheld with multiple game stores. So a little bit of context on this. Miston Labs, the people behind ICEYYY, announced that they're working with an open operating system company, Playtron, to launch an open gaming handheld with multiple game stores from Web3 games to Epic Game Store and even Steam. So in their single launcher, you can sign in with your Steam account. You can sign in with your Epic Games account. All of your games will appear in a single launcher, and they're working on a single operating system, effectively turning the PC environment into a console. So this ICEYYY Play 0x1, I actually kind of really like that name. It may be a little too tech, little too nerdy in crypto, but like if we can, onboard people, hey,
0x1, that's pretty cool. It's like a nod to the, I thought it was cool, but
I like it. So this will
have. I'm a dad, so.
Listen, if the quote unquote normies, get on board, then that's all I care about.
Yeah, it's all that matters, right?
So this will be a Web3 native gaming console and have capabilities. They're targeting worldwide availability in 2025 with a rumored price of around $500. So for context here, guys, Miston Labs raised about $400 million to create a mass market for Web3 games beyond helping just fund cool games. So this is not the first hardware device that we've seen, Peyton. The Solana phone. Kind of made,
isn't it like backup for pre-sales?
Pre-order. Yeah. The Saga 2.
Pre-order,
Saga 2 is available for pre-order. I actually jumped on the pre-order last time that it was available.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm trying to get some of those airdrops. What do you think about this, Peyton? This is really interesting. Hardware is really difficult to make work.
That's what I was gonna say. I think when it comes to it, like this is like kind of like a PR. I don't know how much they're gonna actually do or even like go out with it. So I think it's like a PR stunt, get some attention. It's like, oh, get people talking about it like us. It's free marketing. And really like, what do you have to do? Like copy a specific handheld that's, and then put ICEYYY on it. I don't know. And that aspect of things, I think it's a marketing ploy to get their like tractions and like get like some buzz around them going. They only have to ship a few products. Like even the Solana phone, like doesn't have like that much out there. And like they got all this attention. And they can kind of use it as a marketing beat every single time. So I'm coming from a marketing, typical PR stunt. Really like it. Good job.
Yeah, I think my take is hardware is really difficult, right? I'm a big fan of Apple. I've read some of the biographies. I've watched all the movies. Entrepreneurship is incredibly hard. Hardware is incredibly expensive, not only to R&D, but also just production lines and time frames and stuff like that. Manufacturing. So I think
also who's gonna buy it, Icy? Like on one spectrum, it's all of us that have PCs and high-end PCs that are like, I don't want a handheld. And then on the other side of the spectrum are people that have like browsers, and like play on like very low-end specific devices. So on that aspect of things, it's like, who's going to purchase this? That's why I think it's a marketing ploy, because I think they understand that. And I don't know, but you also can get a lot with farming, right? So people would probably buy it if you do that.
So that's the thing, Peyton, right? Like I was not interested. I had the same take about the Saga phone from Solana like a year ago when it was first announced. Like, why is Solana making a phone? It is so difficult to make a physical product successful. The margins aren't even that great. Like, you're not Apple. Like, how are you going to build a blockchain as well as like try to compete against Apple 100%, and Google? 100%. Like, it made zero sense to me until airdrops. Until everybody got airdrops on the Solana phone. And I was like, oh my God, we talk about this all the time. I think there's a tweet coming from Vader with Pac-Moon. Like, tokens can be this great user acquisition funnel.
It can be.
And man, if ICEYY is able, if you're gonna get some airdrops from ICEYY and whatnot, it might be really advantageous, because I think the Solana phone was like $600, and I think people have gotten like over $1,000 in airdrops at this point.
Right.
So
right.
really interesting, could be something.
Exactly. Jack is saying Apple airdrops win. No, hilarious. Absolutely.
Bro, for real, could be something. But in the same vein, or token rather, we're also got the Bitboy 1. So this is like a Bitcoin Game Boy. Not to be confused with Bitboy, the content creator.
No, not content creator, fighter.
Yeah.
Content creator. He's a karate professional. Yeah, exactly.
Karate combat champion. So this is from Ords Games, so the whole ordinal on Bitcoin. So this is a new project that bundles Bitcoin gaming, play to earn rewards, and also a hardware wallet all into one device. So the Bitboy 1 was officially revealed this week by Ords Games. It's a Bitcoin game-centric gaming project. The handheld replicates the basic silhouette of Nintendo's iconic handheld, but with a bold see-through orange, love that, shell that conveys the Bitcoin vibe. There's a bunch of specs here, 4 gigabytes in RAM and, all that stuff in the article. If you guys are into the specs, you can go check that out. Rumored price point around $500, and will launch pre-order sometime this month, with a potential rollout later on this year. Pretty interesting. I don't know. Do you think same as the ICEYY? Like, do you think there's gonna be a market?
But I don't know if it will be a market. Nostalgic feeling, kind of like similar to people just like wanting. I don't know. I think it's a grab of attention again. But again, like, this is an attention economy and everything like that. But again, I just want to make sure everyone knows it's not to be confused with this guy, right? It's this. Sorry. I just was trying to find it. I see.
Yeah. No, all good. I mean, there was, listen, again, to your point, marketing, onboarding, adoption, airdrops, could be things here. The Bitboy 1 did inscribe a runestone game fully on chain into Bitcoin, which was pretty incredible. I think the news was like, this was like the 6th largest ordinals inscription on Bitcoin. So something to pay attention to, guys. If you guys are interested in farming this stuff or getting exposure into these ecosystems, what I've learned, and the takeaway here, is that when people do stuff like this, they've got a plan, right? They're going to be throwing marketing dollars, a launch, a go-to-market strategy around this. Like, this is just the beginning. So this is the early signal to potentially get in, if this interests you.
Yeah.
And there could be airdrops, upside. These things could cook. You never know.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, it's cool with like the hardware stuff, is that like, you get the hardware, kind of like NFTs, like it's a NFT based like type of hardware thing, where like there's probably not going to be a lot of units, and so they can outsize reward the people that totally own it. So I'm very curious 100%. To see how it goes.
Here is the pre-order for Solana, announcing that their mobile phone is back again. I think this was like $400 or $500. Not cheap, but also for a phone comparable. And again, I bought it. I think it's not shipping for like another year or so. But I jumped into this because I'm trying to get those airdrops.
You never know too, though. Like, they can probably airdrop based off pre-order.
So. Exactly. Yeah. You never know. Let's move on to the next topic, Peyton. Talking about some airdrops and farming. There's a way to do it, and there's not a way to do it. And we have been talking about this behind the scenes. Very impressed with everything that Pac-Moon and Lambo is doing over there.
Lambo's a genius. He really is.
It's I think we mentioned it last week on the show, like defining the meta and thinking from first principles. Really, that's what grabs attention, right? When you can come up with something new, not just when you're copying stuff. But shout out to CryptoGorilla, saying that he's talking with a bunch of projects, and they're all trying to copy the social farming from Pac-Moon and Lambo. Which we got this tweet here from Lambo: to any team that wants to replicate the viral growth of Pac-Moon, first off, you can't. God, Lambo's so based. You love to see it. But hypothetically, you should. Think from first principles, talk to your community, work 24/7. What I love about this, Peyton, thinking from first principles, talking to your community, getting that feedback, constantly iterating, and then just freaking working your butt off.
Yeah.
Which is really the vibe that I've gotten from Pac Moon.
Yeah, and I made a post a couple days ago as well on Lambo, talking about, this is what I said, is like, you know, here, I'll just put it up here too, just so people can see it. But like, I appreciate what Lambo is doing. And though Lambo, like I say, I appreciate people who make metas instead of conforming to them, though Lambo understands the space better than 99% of the peeps. So I also don't blame builders to play the game. Sometimes like you have to copy, because Lambo is so connected into the space that he can think by first principles.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's like hard, is that like, but hypothetical, like him saying like, you should do it, but you can't. I think he's not being like arrogant. He's saying like, hey, builders, like, you think that you understand Web3 by first principles, but you actually don't. And so that's why you can't replicate it, but you should.
Yeah, and he expands on this 1 a.m. thoughts, which, you know, you love that. You know, a lot of the farms are kind of annoying. It's just spam. You know, the content they incentivize adds nothing of value to any conversation. So that's really the key here. Like, what value are you adding? And if you're not, then it's a little bearish, right? You're just copying. There's no innovation. It's not going to work. You need to rethink why it worked in the first place, what the circumstances were around that time, and apply those lessons to what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Continue to innovate, right? Like, they clearly proved something, a demand, a desire for it. But you have to, you know, continue that forward. You have to innovate on what they're doing.
Well, it's just like one thing too. It's the same thing that like Discord announcements do, right? Everyone's been there. Everyone raise their hand on how many servers you've muted.
Yeah.
Right? Like, say in the comments, like just give me an over under 50, guys. Probably that's way too low. Over under 100 servers that you've muted, because the announcements are add everyone, add everyone, add everyone, add everyone, add everyone. It's the same type of thing that's happening with like the social farming right now. It's like you open up your notifications and it's just like a wall of text. Like, you can't even parse through like your information. So what you end up doing is you mute it, right? You mute that specific post and you mute that specific tag. That's how like I faded Portal. If I'm being completely honest, I muted the word airdrop and Portal. I put that on my settings on Twitter. It's like, dude, I don't want to see this in the bear. Like, I'm like done. Like, this is just too much. Like, I can't see ICEYY's post. I can't see Sparksy's post. Like, I literally open up my notifications and it's just a wall of text that like I don't get any value. And then I get upset in some perspective. And so what I'm very curious to see is the long-term repercussions of a social farming thing. It's like, you know, where, oh, your token's just dumped and then everybody muted your profile. And so you can't have any communication with your people, which is like extremely, extremely important in a pool.
It's so true. It's so true. Let's go back.
I also want to share something real quick though on Pac Moon.
Please.
Okay. So did you see this one?
No.
Okay. This is what happens when you give organic food.
Oh my goodness.
Hello,
Right?
Oh like, my God, I love it.
In terms of that aspect of things, that's what you get.
Yeah.
That is what you get when like you have like this kind of like organic, like first principle thinking that Lamboland put together. He got Beeple to make something. Bro, you win. GG's Lambo.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's share the Beeple thing right here, man. This was insanely beautiful. Dude, you know, you are making noise when it rises to Beeple's attention, right? Clearly doing something right. And it's I mean, in one regard, Peyton, it's like the classic, like just incentivizing UGC, right? Incentivizing people, and that's the difference, right? It's not
like
just
a played airdrop campaign, right? But it's playing a game that you actually want to play. And I think that's what it is. It's like Beeple gets to do what he wants to do.
Yep.
Right.
But it's also, I would add to that saying like, it's a play to airdrop campaign, but it's like make something of quality. You know, take your time, like impress us. Like, you know, we're not just here to, you know, spam the timeline. Like we want to see something really, really creative and compelling. And it worked because we got this analysis from Vader. I mean, we talked about it last week. They dropped $1 million to creators. And what ended up happening? So the token incentives are the ultimate growth and retention tool for Web3. It's a great way to see visionary meme coin founders experimenting with token incentives. Might sound counterintuitive for Web2 normies, but giving free token actually results in a higher ROI if executed well. After the Pac Moon founders airdrop 30 million pack on April 3rd, the price jumped 2x in the next 4 days.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive. Like a lot of what Web3 does sounds counterintuitive.
Yeah.
And it's just so freaking amazing what he's done. So Lambo, if you're seeing this, dude, GG's.
Yeah.
GG's.
He did send a tweet out though saying like, you know, it's not just me guys, like he gave credit to some of the smart people that he's working with and love that. So again, another great example of leadership though. And
I will say though too, Lambo has the launch pad though. Like he is a content creator that a lot of people respect. So yes, it is his team 100%. Like Wolves, like I cannot do anything without the Wolves. Like it is a launch pad though, that like they launched off somebody that already had a lot of credibility. And like there's only a few content creators that you can launch off of that you can attach your credibility to. And like really he took a risk, right? He took his risk on his personal brand, Lamboland, like the last 3 years of building that brand name, and said, I'm going to launch Pac Moon.
Yeah.
And he put his balls on the freaking court, dude. Freaking love it. I don't know why I said that, but yeah.
No, man, I couldn't agree more. And definitely one to watch, man. Listen, a lot of people will say lessons in there, but there's a lot of lessons in what Lambo is doing. So pay attention to him if you are not. You know who is not doing it right, and there's lessons in what not to do. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of block. So shout out to Big Steph. Also, happy birthday, Sam.
That's why.
Happy birthday, Sam Steffanina over the weekend. You love to see that. But no, Block launched last week to a lot of frustration, a lot of negativity on the timeline. Apparently they changed a lot of what they said and kind of went back on their word, and it did not go well. So apparently if you didn't have a Block Dice NFT and wanted to claim your rewards, you had to burn 70% of the claim or wait 6 months, which was not communicated and buried like one line in the white paper. Allegedly, Block intentionally listed on lesser exchanges first with low liquidity to allow themselves to sell, not first principle thinking, not putting the community first, not adding value. OKX was allowed to dump before anyone else, allowing their team to dump. Not cool. On the TGE, there was a random button to 2x your points, which appeared 30 minutes before with no confirmation, and it made people lock their tokens for 2 weeks. Not cool, not fun, not disclosed. Their tokenomics were originally, if you earned it through a game, you got 100% on TGE, which they ended up changing to 30% unless you owned the Block NFT and potentially staked it. Their round was over allocated by 800%, which is a crazy thing to do. No one should be doing that. Game farming points supposedly have not been working properly, and a lot of people were locked on certain levels or never received certain points that they were supposed to earn. The team was unavailable, even to Wales, including the 6 p.m. local time, saying it's past 5 p.m. We're offline for the rest of the day. My goodness. And then only 2% was allocated to the Block Dice NFT stakers, but that was also never communicated. So unfortunate kind of situation for Block. Maybe not, there was a tweet from Vader saying maybe not count them out. They're the talented team that can probably come back. I mean, we talk about all the time. Peyton Crypto loves a comeback story. I faded Block. I did do a thread on them, kind of covering their ecosystem. They're trying to do like the everything play. They've got a launch pad, a launcher. They've got a few mobile games on there. Wasn't too impressed with some of their games, but the games, some of them were cool. Some of them looked interesting. But yeah, one of the ones that tried to do the portal, tried to do the Pac Moon meta, and did not go well.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, guys, we are about to do an interview with Way for people.
Coming
We're gonna
up.
do a giveaway first.
Yes, let's do that.
And I need a comment from you guys. FREEICEYY in the chat. And then we're gonna do a draw here. So if you're here currently, type in FREEICEYY in the chat, and we're gonna run a giveaway on that. And for people that are just tuning in that don't know, ICEYY is not free on Twitter right now. So we need to get him. We need to get him free.
We are down bad on Twitter, but we are up only in vibes and positivity, guys.
Yes,
we remain steadfast and strong. Don't you guys? I appreciate the comments. It's fun. Let's have some fun with it, but don't let it don't worry about me, and don't worry about it. We will be back. They can't hold the good Iceman down. But yeah, let's do some sick giveaways and talk about some sponsors for before we get into this GWEY AI Arena interview, which I am so excited for. I don't think that we've done too much for the giveaway, so let's do 4 winners for the IMX. $10 or 10 IMX, which is I think like $22-25, something like that. And then we'll also do the Honeyland Generation 1 Queen Egg, which is super in demand right now. So we'll do 5 winners.
5 winners. 5 winners.
Get in there, guys.
Free the man, the myth, the legend. All right, guys. 22 entries. We are gonna do it. If you're not here, I'm sorry. 3, 2, 1.
This one will be for the 10 IMX, and we'll pick 4 winners for this.
10
so
IMX. Elon got you, but he can't contain you, though. That's what I'm saying.
22 entries with
Lancer. Let's go. Congrats, Lancer.
Congrats, Lancer. 5 winners. I mean, you've got like a 25% chance of winning right now. So
yeah,
GG's.
Absolutely. And we're gonna draw again. Here we go. Don't. And
who's it gonna be? Yukin, Psycho, Mike, Zach.
Oh, there we go. Zach, let's go. Congratulations, buddy. GG's on that. Oh, there's all this confetti that like I can't even see my mouse. All right. Next up. Boom. How much we got? We got 4 specific ones.
Yeah. So
all right, cool.
2 more. Ooh, got music
actually,
up in here.
That doesn't. Jackson, dude, Jackson winning, bro. Jackson on the freaking,
bro, caking up over here.
So close. Yeah. Ivy says no. All right, last one. We got 4. Yeah. This is the last one that we got.
Dude, that was so close. IOBs.
I know it was. Here we go. Here we go.
I like this music.
Yes,
vibe.
Hey, Brittany, let's go.
Brittany is always so supportive, Brittany. I love you so much. Let's pick one more winner, Peyton. This one will be for the Honeyland Generation Queen Egg.
Ooh, okay. Draw again. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, IBs. Yeah, you can win twice, Jackson. Witty
Kitty.
Let's go.
Witty Kitty is caking up out here as well. Shout out to Witty Kitty. I think you won one of the big giveaways last week for the extravaganza stream that I think it was the OpenSea NFT. So that was massive. GG's.
Yeah, massive.
And real quick, let's just talk about our sponsors before we jump into with GWEY here. Let me share this tab and we'll go here. Of course, our show is brought to you by Immutable. Congratulations to everybody that just won some IMX tokens, one of my favorite gaming tokens in all of the space. I could not be more excited about this Immutable Nexus news. Last year, we got the passport, user onboarding, frictionless, account abstraction. Now we're getting the ecosystem of gaming chains. That's been the one knock on Immutable for quite a while in terms of like their infrastructure and their chains. So I'm really excited to see them launch the ecosystem of gaming chains. Also, I'm excited for everything that Honeyland announced last week. Guys, I have been playing Honeyland. If you have not been playing, you're crazy because you can play for free and you can farm the HXD token. The game is fun. It's super casual. You just check in a little bit every single day. You farm your HXD. It is amazing. And then, of course, OpenSea. Dude, I don't know, man. I love OpenSea so much. I love Oliver so much. They're such an incredible partner. And the fact they did a stream last week with Sam, I think Stash was on there, maybe Cairo. They were all playing. What were they? Oh, My Pet Hooligan. And they stream these gaming streams straight from the OpenSea account. It gets tens of thousands of views, and they're putting Web3 gaming creators and Web3 games on the main stage, which is just so incredible to see. That I actually don't know why all of the top people in Web3 gaming do not do that same thing. Immutable, Avalanche, Solana. I don't know why there's not like major gaming streams on all of these chains.
But because it's OpenSea, they don't get any love.
It's crazy to me. All the comments are just like when token.
Got 100,000. Yeah, exactly. All the comments are win token. You're right.
You know, which is just crazy to see. We're also going to be talking about that's the question that I have for our next guest that we got coming up, because they've got some token stuff to share with us.
Yes, sir.
Which I think that we should get into.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So one thing that we're going to be doing here, y'all, is bringing up the Gwei from AI Arena. And we're also going to be reacting to like a trailer with him. And so when we do that, I'm going to add up Gwei. Welcome, Gwei, to Ready Up, man. Thank you so much for coming up, dude. It's a huge day for you. I know we're going to kind of let you kind of take the podium, but like, dude, I've been talking to you for a long time. We've been friends for a long time in terms of what you've been building in the space. You've been here since 2021 and have just like learned so many things. I think for a lot of founders, I kind of use you as a shining example as a friend, but also somebody just that I highly respect in Web3, that you get it from a first principles standpoint. And you're also a builder too. So you're ahead in there where like you test out things and you get all the analytics on the back end. So welcome, Wei, to Ready Up.
What's up, boys? Great to be here. I just want to do a mic check. Do I sound great?
You sound great. You sound crystal.
You know, long time watcher, first time guest. So thanks for having me, guys.
This is the first time that we're doing this like in the show too, right? So like I love it that we did it. I know that we were kind of like, oh, should we do it? I'm like, dude, yes, Gwei's freaking amazing. And yeah, man.
I love it.
So couldn't pick a better guest to kick this off with, Gwei. So thank you very much for being here, man.
By the way, hashtag FREEICEYY. I saw what happened to you. Yeah, hashtag FREEICEYY. Come on, guys. You got it. Put a call through to Elon. What's going on here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, my proxy is saying welcome AI Arena. And so yeah, there's a lot of things that we're going to be talking about, Gwei, but one thing that you also did provide us actually is a video. And maybe this to kick things off, like let's show the video, unmute yourself and maybe talk us through it. Because I got chills. We watched it pre-show with me and ICEYY right before we came on. I was just like, oh my gosh, like Gwei's specific vision from what AI Arena was, he's like so much bigger. So without further ado, let's get into the trailer, guys. Yeah, Gwei, it's gonna unmute you. So it's gonna mute you. So just unmute and then you can talk over it.
Sounds good. Let it roll for a moment. I'll add commentary later.
Yeah, like I want to react to it.
Human.
Banger, bro. As soon as I saw that tagline, I was just like, oh,
we were working through the weekend on that, so it came out fantastic. But I think just to kind of contextualize what the video is all about. So I know everyone knows about AI Arena. We've been, obviously building the game since 2021. We haven't been super public in the storytelling of the company itself that's developing AI Arena. Is actually called Arena X Labs. It's a team of 25 people around the world who have been working tirelessly for the last 3 years in building not only just a game AI Arena, but this underlying AI gaming infrastructure that now we're kind of bringing to the public. So there's two products that we are offering as a company. One is called Arc, and what Arc is think about it as the gaming infrastructure that's powering AI Arena. And AI Arena is kind of an example of a game experience that can be built through Arc, which we are making available now through an SDK, and we're able to integrate that into different kind of game environments, game experiences, and allow us to continue to develop games in-house and or licensing it to third parties for other studios to use. So this is something that we're coming out to market with. We had a lot of discussions at GDC with various different studios and publishers. A lot of interest behind this. I think it is definitely something that we're very proud of, and that we think is going to change the fabric of gaming going forward. The other platform is called ICEYYY. The central kind of vision and thesis around ICEYYY is that, number one, we need more AI savvy and literate people in the world, given how important this technology is. And number two, how do we basically aggregate and reveal who these talented individuals are around the world. So the idea behind ICEYYY is we're going to use gaming and game-like interfaces to attract people into this platform where they can compete through building AIs via their own methods and creativity. And we want to showcase who's the best in the world at basically creating AIs that can compete and solve really, really difficult problems, but they're all framed in like this kind of game-like context. So the tagline at the end, it says change the game, change the world. Is our fundamental belief that gaming is more than just an entertainment medium. I mean, we're all here to have fun. We're all here to engage and enjoy being with friends and enjoy experiences. But I think in our minds, we can really think bigger in the modern context of what technology is allowing us to do. And we see gaming as an agent of change. Is really going to, empower new business models. And our thesis is that gaming is going to be a medium that allows us to actually convey and teach AI literacy to the next generation of youth. It's a way for us to foster innovation through the forces of competition, bring people to the fore, reveal their talents, give them a stage and spotlight to shine on, and then using Web3 native rails to distribute that value back to people who perhaps historically never had the chance to really shine on that basis. And all of these technologies are starting to coalesce in a way that really we can achieve this version of the future with something as fun and perhaps historically thought as being trivial, right? And our thesis is no, it's not trivial. It's actually an agent of change in the modern world. So that's the idea behind what we're trying to build at Arena X Labs. AI Arena is just the starting edge of all of that, and we're looking forward to kind of bringing this to the fore over the next few years.
For sure. And something too, I want to just kind of let the audience know too, is kind of like, what is AI Arena? I think with Arena X is something that's revolutionary, I think. But it all started as a seed with AI Arena. And so one question I might have is like, first, like, what is AI Arena? And also, what did you learn in making AI Arena that you are now ready to take it to Arena X?
Sure. So at a very high level, AI Arena is we call it an AI enhanced human play type of experience. How AIs integrate into that game is human players are able to train an AI model to play this platform fighting game like how they would play it. So the analogy I like to use is, imagine the scene in The Matrix where Neo learns Kung Fu by downloading software into his brain. AI Arena is the reverse of that. It's like Neo hooked his brain up into software and downloaded everything in his head into code. And then now the code is able to basically perform like Neo in these digital realms, right? So that's the fundamental experience of AI Arena. I think it is one of those games that is, I think, in our opinion, is like a category leading game. There's nothing really like it out there. It's a radically different experience. And it's built for ultra competitive players. And it's a feature of the Arc engine that what we wanted to showcase is basically one end of the extreme. Is like if you wanted to use Arc to create the most competitive and complex game that's really speaking to the hardcore players and is esports viable, you are able to do that on Arc. But then there's a gradient from that point all the way back to building really, really simple and casual game experiences, and everything in between is possible with the Arc engine. So to address your question on what have we learned with AI Arena, I think what we've learned is that, building in Web3 comes with pros and cons. And for something as, I guess, like vision and mission based as AI Arena and Arena X, I struggle to see us building in a different environment that would have led us to the current level of success that we've had.
Yeah.
You know, everything from community to working with the ecosystem of like-minded individuals such as yourselves. I mean, we all grew through the bear market, right? And you know, we're in the trenches every single day talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We take time to kind of laugh at ourselves at the ridiculousness that happens in this space. But then at the end of the day, I think you still have hundreds and if not thousands of builders, creators in this space that all kind of align on a common mission of believing that Web3 gaming has its place within the broader field. And what you're going to see is in this cycle, I think we are at a time where there have been a lot of high quality studios developing really good titles, and we're going to see breakthroughs. And we're going to see breakthroughs at the level that is going to penetrate Web2 and create noise in the traditional space. And I also think that Web3 is going to be the leading edge of innovation for gaming. I fundamentally believe that. And if you look at what's happening in the Web2 gaming space, I think in general that industry is going through a phase of transition. So, and coming out of GDC, I know ICEYY and Peyton, you were both there. I think I think Web3 gaming was like this little pocket of optimism amongst the sea everywhere else. You know what I mean?
Everywhere. And just for people that just don't know the gaming industry, like there was massive layoffs throughout the year. And going to GDC, like we're the only ones throwing parties. Like if you look at like all the events that were happening in GDC, it was like 90% Web3. And then like Microsoft and Amazon and like Unity, like these giants in the industry, of course, like they have some money, but like it was just like, like to your point, a pocket of optimism in that sense. Like it was really amazing to watch and see. And Way was happening. He was smiling.
No, I think this is where, because I think we're afforded more ability and grace from the community to experiment and really push the envelope, right? So that, and I think if you had to make a bet in terms of where the innovation is coming from, I think Web3 is going to be the place. So I'm super excited about that. I think we're super appreciative of being held in the same regard as some of the highest quality kind of projects that are building in this space. And we don't want to betray the trust of the community. So, for us is continue to forge ahead and really be mission driven and thinking about a bigger picture and not just building just like, great games and great game experiences, but really thinking through like what games can mean for the broader kind of world at large.
Right. Yeah. And so like, I know this is kind of like one of your first stops, and I really appreciate just want to say thank you for like trusting us with this and being one of the first people that are going to be kind of leading and being ambassadors for AI Arena. But like also for people that like, okay, maybe they're hearing it for the first time, or like, they're a second or third time guest visiting AI Arena. Like what's coming up? Like, I know I've talked to you at GDC, and I also want to be very careful of like what, you're willing to share right now. But I know for you guys, there's a lot coming up in 2024, and not in a very short amount of time. And it's also pinned to your top of your Twitter as well. So just love for you to walk through like what's going on there at AI Arena and Arena X.
For sure. So obviously the biggest catalyst coming up is the token launch. It's going to be called N token. We simplified the ticker to just one letter. I think visually we've always had the N, and we thought, the efficiency of communication of the N and the association of that with AI Arena, we felt like was the way to go. So token TGE is targeted to be kind of early first or second week of May. In leading up to the TGE, we are actually going to be holding an esports event. So there's actually going to be an invite-only qualification competition happening behind the scenes over the next couple of weeks. And what we're going to do is pick the top, or not pick, but the top 8 players coming out of that competition will be featured in this, what's going to be called the AI Arena All-Star Invitational main event.
Yeah.
And by the way, Peyton, we need to talk, because I'm looking for anchors, I'm looking for casters. So yes, sir. We're gonna have a side
conversation. Give me a shirt or merch, dude. I'm there.
Yeah, for sure. No, I got something for you after this point. I got something for you.
Let's go.
The other thing is, so that's all coming up. I think we want to really feature the competitive aspect of the game. Like I said, AI Arena, we kind of deliberately made to be more geared towards like hardcore players. We've had a lot of people kind of reach out to us, you know, the esports competitive guys in Web3, and also some of the Web2 teams are coming in, dabbling in, and see if they can qualify for this main event. So all of that is leading up to the May launch. Thereafter, we're going to launch the game on mainnet. That again, the mainnet version of AI Arena is the competitive version. There are 420 NFTs. Effectively, you can think about those as like the competitive and pro tier types of players. We're going to get that whole competition kicked off. And then within the community, the next steps is, you know, we're going to be pushing a free-to-play version so everyone can come in and enjoy the game. But we're also heavily going to be going into the fantasy sports aspect of it. Dude, so the next product that we're going to start to incubate and kind of slowly refine over time is a kind of a fantasy sports type game that's built on top of AI Arena. Basically, community members are going to be able to start to kind of collect these trading cards, if you will, of these 420 NFTs, and they're going to be able to do like daily lineups, and you know, it's like mini fantasy games on top of that. So what we're trying to really build is like this star fan affinity between the two sides, understanding that, you know, for the casual gamer in Web3, I think, you know, they may appreciate the game loop of AI Arena, but it's very hard to compete at the highest level.
I tried.
This is the experience that we can give.
Let me just say, like, first, everything that you just said, yes. Like, for one thing is, like, I actually want like Jackson to start playing your game, and he's 5. So this is one of the only companies that I am comfortable with my son playing, mostly because he is learning machine learning, and what a valuable skill that it is to come even from like prompt engineering or prompt, a lot of these different like jobs that are going to be, I think, similar to like what YouTube was. Like, you know, no one thought they wanted to be a content creator in 20 years ago. And then now I think a lot of people are like, what do you mean? Like, you're a prompt engineer, you know what I mean? And I think these like new jobs are coming up for like AI and everything like that. That's just going to be beautiful. That I think your game is going to be at the precipice. My gosh, I hope I said that word right. Comment will let me know if I didn't.
Nailed it.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. I come from Hawaii, so we speak pidgin, like, you know, Ladat and everything like that. So using these big words are really rough. But the other thing that I want to say too is, like, anybody that wants to join the Ready Up League, I know Gwei can't say it, so Gwei just earmuffs. Bro, we're gonna put some pot in there. We'll put like 100 Matic buy-in pool and everything like that. I know Gwei can't endorse that, but for me, I definitely can endorse it. It's like freaking get that fantasy league going. Because the great thing about your game too is that, like, it is literally streamable. So if we wanted to, we could have a Ready Up League on like our Twitch. We don't have a Twitch, but like, let's say that we wanted to do a Ready Up League, or on that aspect of things, we can literally just watch the games, can't we? Like, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know how that's, I don't even know how that will be done. But
look, we have that on the roadmap too. Is like, we're thinking of,
okay,
like,
never mind. I'll shut up.
24/7 live stream, because we basically have infinite content. There's more content than there will ever be time to stream it. So yes, and as you can imagine, there's all these derivative experiences that you can build on top of it. So we're super excited about what's to come. But look, a lot coming down the pike, and obviously from a company perspective, we're going to be working with partners to continue to distribute ARC and use it to power different experiences. And it goes beyond just like game experiences and new games. It actually, ARC has the ability to solve a couple of other problems in game building. One is it actually elegantly closes the attack surface of cheating, especially for competitive games, because as you can imagine, as a human downloads your skills into software, when we can actually execute a match between software in a very efficient way, and it's all ring fenced on the host server side. So you actually like prevent the attack vector of like live competition, which is actually where a lot of cheat takes place. So that's an interesting feature. And then the other thing is we're effectively exponentially expanding human capacity. And this is a huge unlock for gamers, especially competitive gamers who are trying to make money for a living playing games. Because most of the best players, like, you start to really hone in and focus on one game, because that's your kind of like cash cow, if you will. And it's always like an opportunity cost assessment of like, how much time do I allocate to anything else?
Like time for money type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. But here, what happens is, as you're training up an AI, the AI is an encapsulation of your skill. There's an aspect of, you can train multiple AIs across different games, across the same game, to employ different varieties of strategies, etc. In effect, what you're doing is I think about it this way: you're just like training these like robots that have the exact skill DNA as you, and you're setting them off to compete on your behalf. Sick. It's like a really interesting future world to explore from a monetization perspective as well. So we're super excited about that.
Absolutely. I think like I even liken it, and again, this is my smooth brain trying to grab hold of something that I like know is like the aspect of like real estate, right? Like you have like a real estate, you have like a house that's on top of that, and then you like rent it out in per se on that aspect of things. But like that asset actually works for you. Yes, there's a lot of like work that comes into like the renovations, or like, you know, actually going through like escrow and all that stuff. But like once you get through that and it becomes an asset for you, it doesn't come like this thing that's like really sucking, unless obviously it sucks in terms of like my character, which probably I would hire somebody to do, because definitely not the best when it comes to that stuff. But maybe Jackson, maybe Jackson would do it.
Well, he'll take care of it for you. Don't worry.
No,
exactly.
That's really cool, because we say this all the time, like as you know, when we're working in the space, it's like, I wish I could copy myself. Like I need two or three of me to like go comment on Twitter, be in Discord, respond to DMs, find time to play games or whatnot. And that's a little bit of what you're saying these AI models can do. You can train, at least in gaming, right? You can train them up on your style of play, your advantages, what you've learned in games, your unique approach and methods of attack, and then have them kind of be your team, right?
Yes, right.
Which is
exactly
really cool.
So Brandon, who is a founder and CEO, he likes to say, you know, when you're playing in these like sometimes like multiplayer team place games, right? If your team loses, is never your fault. It's always your teammates' fault. So imagine you can train like a whole team of like yourself, but they're like slightly like offsetting each other's strength and weaknesses. Like that's one of the application domains of ARC as well. So there's so many different ways that we can apply this underlying concept and enhance kind of various types of gaming experiences in the future.
Dude, I love this. And so in the last 5 minutes, I just want to kind of give you the floor of like, how can our viewers, we have around 1,000 people watching right now, concurrent, like what are the things that you want to say to them of like, okay, if somebody comes up and says like, what is AI Arena? Like, what's the bull case for them, right? On that side of things. I would love for you to just like take the last 5 minutes, just kind of deliver us that spill.
Sure. Well, at a high level, from a game specific perspective, I would say AI Arena is a kind of a category leading game. We're using AI in a fundamentally unique way, and it is on this theme of transferring the skill of human players into these digital vessels called artificial intelligence models. And I think what's really important about this is I like to use a phrase, it's actually a high fidelity copy of the human. Right. And why is that important? It's because when you think about competition has to be, you have to retain the integrity of competition. So like if I were to just, you know, let's say the interface was, I'm prompting something and I now can create this like really, really powerful like AI, I think that's a type of game experience. But if you're trying to preserve competitive integrity, it's not a true reflection of that human's ability, right? So I think from the perspective of like ARC and what we have created in AI Arena is that in AI Arena, your AI is a high fidelity version of you, because it's its performance is deliberately designed by you. And you painstakingly did this. And it's a grind. And you had to build up to it, and you mess up at times, and you like sometimes you want to cry. Exactly.
Oh no, I've cried a couple times.
Peyton can probably write a dissertation thesis on all the ways not to train an AI, but we'll save that for another episode of Ready Up. But I think the main point is like it's this is this like kind of process where you're able to impart your skill onto artificial intelligence characters. So I think that is really interesting and really different. And I think many of the players, when you speak to them, the experience that they have, they always kind of bring it back to that, to on some level, that kind of comment on that feature. I think zooming out though, the key, one of the key differentiation areas about our project, again, is we're mission driven. I think we're here with a scale of a problem that we're trying to tackle, and we're kind of remixing things in a way where it's not obvious. And I think we're going to take people, it's going to come at them, and they're going to realize it after the fact. And it was like maybe catch a little bit off guard, because to your point, Peyton, like we have this feedback from a lot of parents actually, that where they're like, I would love for my kid to play this game. Or when we speak to academic institutions, whether it's high school or collegiate level,
100%,
a lot of positive reception, because
this is
from an
machine learning 101 type of thing, dude. Like
we have
it
profs
literally is
that
amazing.
are saying, hey, can I try to integrate this into my curriculum in terms of like a teaching tool?
Exactly.
So I think from there, what we're trying to prove is, again, this thesis of change the game, change the world. Gaming isn't just entertainment. Gaming is an agent of change. Gaming can empower people. Gaming can teach people. Gaming can actually create a market where we can identify talent and have talent accrue value in a market
modern day LinkedIn
way. Exactly. So all of those things, I think that's the level of like the narrative around Arena X and AI Arena that, to be honest, like historically, it's hard to get to that point without a product to actually prove the case. So absolutely. I think we're actually at a point where we can start to speak to that level of the scale and the mission that we're after. So we're super excited about that. And maybe I'll leave with one punchline, which is, I think Web3, like I said before, Web3 is like this crazy, like this is like the upside down world. And I think everyone who's watching this can appreciate from their own perspective what I mean by that. And I know we're all degens, and we like to have 100%. Fun, and we like to do all that stuff. But I also think that we can't forget that we're here to build things of consequence, and things that are going to matter, and hopefully things that are going to make the world a better place. 100%. So I think amongst all of the hoopla, especially now we're in a bull market, knock on wood, maybe not. Maybe this is a bull trap. I don't know. Not financial advice.
We'll be
but let's just make the assumption.
Higher for longer.
Only from here. Let's just make the assumption that we're in a more positive part of the cycle. We can certainly, as a cohort, as an industry, as a community, get kind of lost in the sauce of the speculation. But I think 100%. We need to keep perspective of what we're doing here. And from my perspective, I love what you guys are doing at Ready Up. I think you guys are kind of providing that filter for a space that's very important. And I just want to kind of impart on the audience that, like, at the end of the day, like, really support projects that you think are making a difference. That it's important, because I know a lot of fellow builders out there that are trying to do the right things, and we as like the audience need to give them the platform and the voice so that they can actually really showcase themselves. And we don't want to betray the opportunity that we have at hand within Web3, which is really, really profound, and we can do some really exciting things. So, we like to live to that standard, and looking forward, we'd love to continue to push the envelope and grow with, like-minded people such as yourselves, and push Web3 and Web3 gaming forward.
Love it, dude. Wait, you're a legend, man. All I heard is that, like, you're like the next Apple, right? Because like Apple literally did the same strategy of going into university. I guess it worked out. I don't know. It's really weird. But no, man, I appreciate the heck out of you coming on, and also just being a friend for me. I know me and you have been friends now for like around 2 years. You've been a long-term wolf as well, and I appreciate even being a founder, like, you poke your head in there from now and then. I really do appreciate it. Like, you're always a wolf in my book. And so, Appreciate it, man.
I
Love you
appreciate
to
you guys.
death. And yeah, we'll
Thanks for
close out
having
this
me on.
show.
Yeah, and I'll just close out and say as well, Gwei, thank you so much for coming on and sharing. I know you guys have so much coming down the pipeline, and we're going to be covering a lot of it on Ready Up. I know Sam is doing some content with Guppy as well. I got like a behind the scenes look into some of the training sessions for AI Arena and just what you guys
nuts.
You guys are on the
Sam's already trash talking me because you know my avatar is like the lowest level AI that you simulate.
I'm not that bad that I can't kick Gwei's ass in the game.
Man, I honestly, you know, that's beef I have with the engineering team internally. But anyway, I'll continue to be the punching bag in the arena. But no, it's wonderful to be on. Thanks, guys. Keep doing what you guys are doing at Ready Up.
Thank you,
love the programming and appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, anytime,
absolutely.
brother, anytime. Guys, pay attention to what AI Arena's got going on. Especially, I mean, I'm shocked that we missed this article. I would have talked about ARC and ICEYYY as a research platform and gaming infrastructure and all this stuff. Like, this is massive.
Absolutely. Well, this came out. I think this came out like
this morning.
This morning. I think it was like 30 minutes. Like, look at this morning. So
literally during the show. All right, cool. Breaking news, and thank you for coming on to speak about it, because this is going to be incredible. AI Arena to me is truly on the forefront of pushing AI gaming. A lot of people are using like AI NPCs now in their game, and I think today is one of the ones that's doing it in a innovative, value added, first principles way. But a lot of them are kind of just integrating it for the buzzwords. AI Arena is true, and Arena X Labs is truly pushing the space forward and innovating and trying new stuff. So I'm super excited to follow along. I know that they've got so much coming down the pipeline, notwithstanding their tournament. So that's exciting.
And let us know, guys, do you guys want more of this? Because like I think when it comes to like, this was something I'd give a test, and like we knew Gwei is gonna like knock it out of the park. So for us, like, do you guys want more of this kind of like, hey, breaking news at the end? We can get some founders back at the end. You know, I always liked if you ever watch the Barstool Sports, like is it Sunday Conversations? It's like this segment is sponsored by Mamita. I freaking love it. Yeah, exactly. So no, guys, in all seriousness though, thank you, and I appreciate every single one of you guys coming out week after week. Like on Twitter right now, we're currently at 1,100, and that's because of you guys being able to retweet. Like it doesn't go unseen, even though we're still upset at X for locking up my boy.
I'm gonna jump off the show and start sending some more appeals ASAP.
Well, you at least have our whole comment chat on that. And yeah, so there's some other people that are saying, glad to see my man boy Icy on the X platform. That's exactly
wait, breaking news. Wait, hold on. I might be back. I got an email saying we've decided to unsuspend your account.
Let's go.
Wait, I don't know though. I don't know if we're back.
We did it, guys. We did it. We channeled it.
Can someone check? I don't know.
Someone check. Let me see.
Am I back?
Icy.
Are we back?
Oh, you are back.
Let's go.
We did it, boys and girls. Let's go. Brittany, you were the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh, it feels so good.
Icy indeed. Live. So we can't make better television, y'all. We can't. We really can't.
So good.
We back. You're back.
Crap.
Guys, let's LFG.
Holy crap. This is the email, guys. Crazy. What a weekend. Thank you guys so much. Guys, we did it. Thank you so much. What a way to end Ready Up. Thank you everyone for the support. Incredible. I don't want to take it up, man. Like you couldn't do it without you guys. Peyton, I love you, man. I love that we get to do this every single Monday.
I know, man.
Thank you, guys. This new format we're using, StreamYard. Peyton set all this up. Absolutely killed it. Bringing Gwei in. We're both sharing the screen. Really enjoyed today's episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it's just an honor.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, and I like getting our people that have been with us up there on the stream, like my procs. Like we can actually show you up there.
Yeah.
AE, like welcome back. Hopefully everything's good at the hospital, buddy. You know, Brittany, like yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, let's talk about Cash like too. Like want to just also like shed light. So Conch has like been also helping us like prep the show, and then also you want to give a shout out to like Jack on Tilt as well, prior, like helping us out with the show and everything like that, and they're doing such an amazing job. So thank you guys for that. But with that, Icy, our duo time is done. Unfortunately, I'd rather be here. And we said, didn't we say at the beginning, we are not ending the stream?
We did it.
And
you called
we
it,
are
dude.
here. We are here. So,
all
right, guys, we're going to play it out. I'll have some few comments out here, but I'll run it while that video is outro. Have a good one, y'all. We love you. Peace.